pause while we figure out how to pronounce words. Hello and welcome back to another Wednesdays with Will. You know who I am, you know what the drill is. Let's get started. Today we are going to be talking about the inspiration behind Shakespeare's plays. Now, a lot of people think that Shakespeare's stories were not entirely his own. They believe that he took stories written by other people and rewrote them to be his own stories that he then produced. And you know what? Those people are not entirely wrong. Shakespeare did draw inspiration for his plays from stories that already existed. Now, a really good example of this comes from Shakespeare's play, The Comedy of Errors. Now, it's a pretty interesting story. We got two sets of twins, a bunch of mistaken identity. It's a wild ride. But Shakespeare didn't come up with that story all on his own. He actually drew inspiration from the play The Brothers Menachmus by the author Seneca, who was a Roman playwright way back in the day. Now, The Brothers Menachmus has pretty much the same plot as The Comedy of Errors, but there's a little difference in that there's only one set of twins in The Brothers Menachmus. And Shakespeare said, you know what's better than one set of twins? Two sets of twins. And he actually took the base of the story from Seneca's play and he rewrote it for his own audiences. He brought a new take to an old story that already existed, that people already knew and they loved, and he refreshed it. He made it a little different, a little newer, and audiences were super excited to go and see that play. And this happened with a lot of Shakespeare's work. And people may think, you know, that's a little sketchy. Isn't that plagiarism, taking someone else's story and just rewriting it, putting your own stamp on it? Well, let's think about the classic stories that we know. The story that we know of as The Little Mermaid actually comes from an old fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen. And that's only one example. There are so many stories that we see in movies and in theater today that come from other stories. And people did this with Shakespeare's work as well. I mean, who has seen Romeo and Juliet? I sure have. Sound familiar? Oh, that's right, Romeo and Juliet. The movie 10 Things I Hate About You is kind of a spin off of Shakespeare's play The Taming of the Shrew. There are so many different versions of Shakespeare's plays now. Isn't that crazy? It's like Shakesception. You've got Shakespeare rewriting old stories and then people today rewriting Shakespeare's stories. The cycle continues. And I thought it would be a fun idea for us to take part in a little bit of this today. We're going to take a story that we probably all are familiar with, like, what about The Three Little Pigs? We all know the plot of The Three Little Pigs, right? You got three brothers, they're all pigs, they're pigging around, they go off and they make their own houses. One's got straw, one's got sticks? Yeah, sticks, and one's got bricks. And the big bad wolf comes in, he's like, I'm gonna blow your house down. They're like, not by the hair of my chin chin chin. Blows the house down, blows the house down. The two little pigs run into the brick house and then he can't blow that one down, right? You know The Three Little Pigs. So we are going to take that old fable, The Three Little Pigs, and we are going to put our own little spin on it. And by we, I mean you, at home. So think about the story of The Three Little Pigs. What are some things that you would like to change about that story? Would you want to add another set of pigs? Would you want to add two wolves? Or maybe there's not a wolf at all. What happens then? Take that base of that story and rewrite something new and exciting for you. And then share it with us. You know we always love seeing what you come up with. So send it to us either via email at our email address right there below, or you can tag us in your posts on social media if you want to share it with the wider Shakespearean community. Regardless, we cannot wait to see what you come up with, and we will probably end up sharing some of these awesome new takes on The Three Little Pigs so that everyone can see what crazy awesome work you come up with. And now it is time for me to bid you adieu because I have my own version of The Three Little Pigs to go write. So I will see you all next week for yet another episode of Wednesdays with Will. Until then, stay safe, be kind, and I'll see you later.